Hey everybody, it's Krista Norris here from Shape Your World Coaching. I hope you're having a beautiful weekend, a very happy Sunday, and that all is well. It is another glorious day here. I'm in Brussels once more before I go on to wherever I am next. Again, with sweetheart dogs in this beautiful family that I have come to know. They actually go back to the US soon, and so I'm savoring every moment with all of them after being their house and pet sitter for this past year. And yeah, having really been so blessed to have gotten to know them as I have. I'll show you Remy and Sassy. Here's Remy. Hey, Remy. Hi. And Sassy, I'll see if I can show you. Watch out, Remy. She likes to follow the sun. She loves the sun. She's a sun baby, a sun goddess. She'll just sit here and lay out in the sun sometimes. So this is your Sunday sermon, everyone, and I hope you're doing well. This week has been a really interesting one. There's a lot going on. We've had the Mercury retrograde. I'm just going to let Remy inside. And there's also... So we're in Mercury retrograde until middle of May. For those who don't know, Mercury retrograde, there's a lot of sort of historical traditional fear around it, but essentially it's also, things can go wrong sometimes with like electronics, miscommunications, travel plans, contracts, all of that kind of stuff. We're always advised to get everything ready, plan, get it set up, but maybe wait for the final crossing of T's and dotting of I's after the Mercury retrograde is done. But another thing is that this time is a beautiful opportunity for all of us to really focus on and to think and to re-examine and realign ourselves with whatever it is we need. Whatever maybe is ready for us to move forward with, or maybe to dive in deeper, look at in another way, perhaps refocus, re-examine. It's all of these re's. Basically, many years ago, a beautiful friend, she mentioned this to me, and I've always remembered it. And what you do is you think about Mercury retrograde as being your time of what do you need to whatever it is. So maybe rearrange, again, refocus, re-examine, all of those re-energize. And this is whether it's in your business life, relationships, or anything else, really. So yeah, this has been a really big week of re's for me. There's been so much going on, and kind of a crazy time as well. It's been a bit of a crazy week. I've had almost everything that could go wrong went wrong in terms of I thought everything sorted for exactly where I was going to be staying, my accommodation, all my movements. I wanted to be sure I could be here to help the family with their dogs, as they are moving back soon, and I'm savoring every moment I can with them before they do. And they needed someone to help take care of their animals while they were away for the whole day. So I arranged all of my movements and had everything set up. I knew exactly where I was going to be day to day, night to night. It was moving to a few different places and so on. And then when it came to this week, it was like things were okay for the Monday and Tuesday. And then suddenly it all went down the toilet a little bit. And I was very much in this opportunity of, okay, what do I do with this? What do I take away? How do I refocus, but also make sure I remember my truth, my moment, my inner peace, my inner being, and not get derailed too drastically or too much from what it was I needed to do for me, and to remember that I am okay as I always am. someone has decided to join me. And, there's nothing to worry about with me. And to not let these external circumstances get in the way of me continuing on my path and with my inner focus and my truth. And so that's been really interesting. And essentially how things went wrong is I was told, I think the night before, that all the rest of my accommodation that I thought was sorted suddenly wasn't going to be anymore, because both people were going away, and this is after them saying yes, it would be fine for me to be there. And there have been a few other little mishaps. And one of the things I've realized is that it's also been a really good opportunity for me to remember and to really be able to examine in a much fuller way, what are the three things that I need for me personally. There's something they taught us when I did my coaching training, and it's so true, that what each of us needs, just as human beings, so we are spiritual and energetic beings, but we are having this human physical experience, and it's important to remember that, because we chose to be here, each of us, for a reason and a purpose. We all have a mission, we all have a path, we are all part of a greater whole, the greater whole. So remembering what are the rules of this world and universe in which we have chosen to live and to incarnate. And little Miss wants help coming down. There we go. Helped her out. And one of the things is is being able to stay focused. Now, we all have three things that each of us needs as human beings. It's a part of our psychology. It's a part of how our brains work and how we're connected with our minds and our energy and so on. They call it the three green ticks or green lights. And we all need to know that whatever we're going to do, whatever our desired outcome is, or a change, or whatever we're thinking of doing, or whatever we're doing in our life in general, that it will not threaten, take away, or damage what we count on for our own safety, to know that that we'll be safe, that we'll be loved, and that we will belong with whoever it's important for us to make sure that we belong to. So our family, our loved ones, friends, and so on. And for me, one of the major ways I know, and my deeper and inner self counts on to know that I'll be safe, that I'll be taken care of, is accommodation. Where am I going to sleep? Pretty basic, but there you go. And so when things got a little bit messed up this week, it really triggered a deeper part of me. And it was interesting because I had, I think, 5 to 10 seconds of feeling. And I'm so grateful that I'm at the point, with my own training, with the work that I've done, and my skill set and life experience too, that, and also this journey of traveling and everything I'm learning every step of the way, that remembering that I will be taken care of, even when and if things go completely askew. And despite all of my best planning and so on, stuff happens, to know that I will be okay. And, there are game plans in place. There are things I can do to readjust, to rethink, to go in project manager mode, and to make sure that I have plans in place and a safety net available to me. I will be taken care of, and I have been. It's beautiful. What another thing all of this has given me the opportunity for, because I found all of this out, I think it was on a Tuesday. Was it Tuesday night? That my accommodation for the next several evenings was going away. Well, I immediately went into action mode, and that was a definite case of not just waiting for things to happen. I did ask and make a request for my spirit team to help me. And as soon as I did, I asked them for inspired divine action steps to make sure that I knew what I needed to do and to help me with them so that everything would work out beautifully. And they have done. They have done. I've been so taken care of, and every single step after that, I've seen and I've received such beautiful outpourings of support and love and caring from others. I've seen that people genuinely do care, and I've had people, reaching out, and that has been amazing to me as well, to know that not only do I know I'm, as we all are, that I'm taken care of by Source and my spirit team, but also to see that from others. All these gorgeous earth angels in the world, that has been amazing too. So yeah, it's been a really interesting week. Another way it's been an interesting week has been that, how do I say this? I've had divine synchronicity in someone I met. It was a friend of a friend of a friend who I stayed with on Monday, Tuesday, and very much there's something there. I know I've known this person before, that I know I've known their soul before, and when I checked into it, I realized the first life where that was, and in that lifetime, that soul, it was a he then, and it's a he now. They were my, I suppose, a protector. They were devoted to me. They were devoted to, I was a high priestess, spiritual being, and part of what they were devoted to was my protection and my safety and taking care of me. And there was a lot of deep love that went with that as well. And so it's very interesting because I realized that perhaps on one level, this lifetime, and I'm still kind of sifting through the waters, but this lifetime is an opportunity for me and for him to go in different directions this time, and to really be able to connect, but connect in a different way, and to realize also that the paths and the things and the decisions that we make in our past lifetimes do not need to be the ones that we recreate in this lifetime. Sometimes the skills we have, the gifts that we bring with us from past lifetimes can definitely be useful. The lessons that we've gone through then can help us to better understand whatever we're going through now, so that we can, more greatly heal and move on and so on. But we don't need to stay in those places. We don't need to stay there, and that actually there's a really beautiful freedom that happens when we free ourselves as well as anyone else who's been there with us from past lifetimes and so on. And that's what I'm really picking up and sensing for this situation for me. And it's interesting how it coincided with everything, all the mishaps with my accommodation and so on, because this soul, he ended up helping me out on one of the evenings when I thought, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I realized it's also, for me, a deeper layer of a part of me that has desired to be taken. So yeah, so that's been an interesting gift. And it's been interesting to realize that all of this has been coinciding and fitting together in the way it has for a reason.
Hey everybody, so this is a two-parter video for today. And interrupted a bit because there was lots of stuff going on outside with barking and so on. And so now I'm here after having taken a nap, and it feels appropriate to finish this Sunday sermon. So this is a bit of a different one for all of you today. And it really ties in, this final part, to the Mercury retrograde, but also looking at what are we afraid of? Where are our fears? Where are the things and the places and spaces in between that we have been ignoring or afraid to look at or feeling uncertain of in terms of our own power, our own strength, our own abilities, and so on. I have somewhat recently, so in the past few weeks, 2.5 weeks maybe, received insights and knowledge, greater awakenings as part of my purpose and my soul path and my mission, my soul mission with why I'm even here on this planet, in this particular lifetime, in the body I'm in now, and actually why I came to this earth at all. And it's amazing because part of what I am realizing is that there are celestial beings with whom I agreed to work. Essentially, you could think of it as that we each have our own projects, kind of like you have projects at work. And we can have multiple projects at a time. Maybe we have one main one. And for me, my main project, I do have a smaller, well, not smaller ones, I have other ones, but then my main project is love and is working with these celestial beings who I have worked with before in previous lifetimes, and they're here to help me to really step up and into my greater path and strengthen awareness now. And to really help each of us and each of you, beautiful souls, to be able to bring love into your life. You know, there's so much, so many of us have grown up so afraid of the love that is there and available for each of us always. The love within our hearts, within our souls, within our bodies, within the world around us, and also that's available. Abundance is another form of love. Self-worth is another form of love. Success is another form of love. Happy relationships is another form of love. Presents that you receive from others, that's another form of love. Payment, the investment that you make in yourself when you pay for a session or a class or some sort of self-development, that's another form of love. When people pay for services with you, that's them showing you their love and their appreciation for what you do, which is in itself another form of love. You know, so many of us have cut ourselves off from love, and love in all its forms and in many of its aspects, in many of its ways. And that is when we create problems. That is when we create blocks. That is when we have fears that are going so much deeper and getting in the way of us being able to experience love in all of its forms, all of its aspects, all of its beautiful, amazing, gorgeous ways. And part of why I am here on this planet is to help to raise the vibration. Love is also the greatest pathway and greatest portal that our earth and our planet has, that each of us has, and we are all a part of this, and we have it within us, and it is accessible to each and every one of us always. All we need do is ask, and it is available. It is there for us if we need help clearing the way of fears and worries. That's part of what I do with my clients every single day, all the time. There are so many ways each of us can clear the pathways so that we can be a part of this great, abundant, beautiful love. Love is what makes law of attraction work. Love is what makes law of abundance work. Love is the greatest energetic empowerment, force, beauty. It's all of those things wrapped up in one. And when we cut ourselves off, we cut ourselves off from love. We cut ourselves off for the reason why we are each here. We cut ourselves off for the reason why we have incarnated. We cut ourselves off from each other. You know, that's why we have things like wars and conflicts and arguments and these centuries-old things that have been created in the name of religion, in the name of love, when actually it's not about love. It's not. It's about fear. And it's about people being afraid of others having more love than they think they have, or feeling that they don't deserve love, so they go out and try, attack others. It's classic bully syndrome. That's another way to put it. And When we cut ourselves off from love, when we feel that we're not worthy, that is where the problems come in. That is where the issues come in. And that is a part of why I am here. And my mission for these beautiful celestial beings, and why I've incarnated again, and they're there to work with me and help me again. It is to help you so that you can feel, be a part of, and experience love in all her aspects, all her beautiful ways, shape and form in all ways. I encourage you to think about that, and to think about any areas, spaces in between where you may have been cutting yourself off from love, or afraid of love. Maybe afraid of the next aspect of love, the next layer of love. Is there some place or space where you know you're being asked to step up and further into your power and empowerment, but there's been a part of you that's afraid of that? If there is, ask yourself why. What is it specifically about that is worrying you, leaving you feeling afraid? What is it? What is the very first thing you think of when you think about the fear? What is the very first thing you think of as a reason for there to be fear? Very first thing that pops in your mind. And then ask yourself, is this mine now? Or does it belong to a version of myself that I once used to be? Chances are it's a previous version of you, and it's no longer the beautiful self that you are now. And if it is, that's okay. That's okay if it's a previous version. If this is a fear that's part of who you are now, that's okay too. Ask yourself, what can I do? What is one thing I can do to help myself feel more comfortable and to bring in love, and the love I know I want, I desire, and I deserve? It is there available for all of us and for you always. All you need to do is ask, my loves. All you need to do is ask. And the universe, spirit, and your higher selves will provide. Source will provide. I'm sending you all so much love and all the best to you. Always. Namaste.